time. Wow. Got it.
Got it.
I bet we're live right now. Welcome, everybody. Hey, look who's back. Or look who's here. We're here.
I'm here.
We are here. Welcome to the Quest Show. I am your host, Lana Quest, and this is my lovely co-host. Do I do this? Or
Hey.
my lovely co-host, Honor. How you doing over there?
Hello, Miss Lana and everyone else out there. It is so good to be a part of the Quest Show. I am Honor Melanin on Twitter, and I am stepping in as Lana's co-host for the Quest Show. This is my first time being live anywhere, so bear with me as I get the hang of this, but I am excited to be here. I am very honored that Lana asked me to be a part of her show. For those of you who follow her on Twitter, she is a phenomenal woman, dropping knowledge about politics, Black history. And so I am just glad to be a part of any of this. So thank you, Lana.
You're welcome. Hi everyone. We're gonna give you guys just 1 second to get into the chat and all that stuff. Yes, we're new here. It's our first day. It's our first show together. So be easy on us. We're trying. We got a lot of things lined up though today as we're stalling again to let some people get into the chat.
All that good stuff.
And if I sound funny, so I had my flu shot yesterday. I swear, I feel like I took Benadryl.
Please, we will get better.
Yeah, I feel like I took Benadryl. Like it's very, I don't know, you're tired. It's just a weird feeling. I feel very tired right now, like I'm on drugs, but it's not really drugs. And this is not vodka. It's water. I swear. But we're going to get into the show because we really are stalling. She doesn't want me to tell you this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We are trying to get links out. So that is literally
I had my flu shot.
You did? Oh, yeah, you did. And your pneumonia.
I think I lost my sound.
No, you didn't. Oh, she can't hear us? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I hate saying that. She lost it. Oh, maybe they went dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take your time. We here. It's good. I'm just going to send out my links. I swear we'll start in 1 second. Just going to send the links out while she's doing that. This gives me a good opportunity to send links out.
1 second as we encounter our first technical difficulties.
So sorry about that, guys. It's going to be one of many. So it's just, it is what it is. Oh, are you back?
Wait, I still don't think I can hear you.
Testing. You can't hear me? You still can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Should I do my sexy? I'm sorry, everyone. We're having some technical difficulties. Can you hear me without the headphones?
There we go.
You can hear me without the headphones?
I can hear you now with my AirPods in. It wanted to switch up, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
technical gremlins. I think I'm good.
Okay. So wait. Let me send one more link.
Sure. No, you were saying you got your flu shot. I got my flu shot, and I made the mistake of getting my flu shot and pneumonia shot the same day, same arm, because I did not want both arms to be incapacitated.
Right.
Needless to say, my arm was down for 2 days.
That's a long time.
I don't recommend that. I don't know.
Not in the same arm.
Not in the same arm.
So
No.
I had the flu shot. Well, I only had the flu shot, but I gave blood, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, this one arm was very sore, but I slept on it anyway because this arm gives me a lot of trouble. So it's like it just kind
Right,
of
right,
weigh it.
right.
So anyway, we are going to go on with the show. Let's get into it. So anyway, let's introduce the show and talk about what we're going to be doing here. Since it is our launch, we got so far off talking about flu shots and stuff like that. So
Sure.
this is our first show. So we are excited. We're going to be running down like the top 5 news. Honor and I have sat diligently, together and thought about and who's going to make the list. So we got some top 5 news. We have a story of interest. We will be doing some great interviews coming up with some great congressional candidates, gubernatorial candidates, some senatorial candidates, some influencers, some activists. We're going to have a little bit of everything. And we even have a game. Honor named it Quest, Quotes, and Questions.
Say it fast 5 times.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm surprised I got that. I am surprised I got that. So with that being said, this is going to be a great show. So please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and share this video. And we're gonna get into it while you guys do all of those great things. If you follow the directions, we should be getting some thumbs ups. Because I'm gonna check because I'm not playing with y'all right now. We're gonna do this. So let's go into the top 5. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see. We have some sports made the list. Football in particular made the top 5. Matter of fact, this is number 1. John Gruden.
Yes.
John Gruden, is that how you say his name?
Oh, I guess, John.
Yeah, John got caught with his pants down, but not literally with his pants down, but he's in a little bit of hot water per se. I guess he got busted. He wrote some emails, racist, misogynist,
homophobic,
yes. Like he's just a whole bigot apparently, but I mean, who's really surprised it's the NFL, right?
This is true. Well, he's been in the NFL for quite a while, and it's just surprising, not surprising that it hasn't come to light before now.
So what's interesting to me is how this all kicked off, right? So there's some type of investigation that's going on within the NFL, and they're not really telling us what that investigation is. Like, what is that investigation?
Well, here's what happened. One email got out where he referred to, I believe it was the Players Union president. He referred to his lips in a derogatory manner, and he is Black.
Let's just go on to say it. He called his lips the Michelin Man. Like, what kind of
Michelin? Yeah, they look like Michelin tires. World? That was just entirely uncalled for. Okay, and so of course, there was only one. But the NFL did a review, and during Monday Night Football, no less, go Ravens. He was, they say, resigned, fired, whatever, but it came out that there were 7 years worth of emails in which he expressed himself in the bigoted way that he is. So,
well, what's interesting? I did hear that there was 650,000 emails during this investigation, not from him, but 650,000 emails are out there that the NFL is covering up. And then you have to think, Gruden wasn't emailing himself. Exactly. He was literally emailing presidents, managers, like the top echelon of the
coaches,
right, of the NFL. So this is who the NFL is made up of, right? He wasn't talking to like his friends. It was the head honchos of the NFL. So are we really surprised what they did to Kaepernick?
Not at all. I'm a little surprised that I guess I'm not surprised. It would seem like after all the efforts that they have put forth to, let us know that they are about diversity and, equal justice and, against police brutality, he remains without a job. And even if he wasn't going to return to the playing field, there are, like you said, coaches, assistant coaches, there are other front office staff.
Right.
One of
Right.
these teams, someone at NFL corporate, something could have been done. He could have been made head of diversity. I don't know.
Well, as always, we have a great chat and they're very informative. Yes. So DA said that they are investigating the Washington football team for creating an atmosphere of harassment.
Well, I think John was accused of sending unconsensual photos or non-consensual photos of the cheerleaders, which is, well, that's the misogynistic part. But you would wonder if there's some sort of criminality in that,
Here's my other thought, and then, we can go on forever. But he wasn't emailing himself. So if he's sending an email to someone that says, hey, his lips look like the Michelin Man, what did that guy say? Don't say that. Or was he like, yeah, you're right. So those names are being hidden. Something is being hidden right now. Like, this is not, it's not over. Some other names are gonna come out with that.
More to come.
More to come. It almost reminds me of, remember was it Sterling, the owner of, I forgot what team. I don't know. Right. Was it? His girlfriend ratted him out as being like this big race.
He was horrible. And you know what? And the team got together. Wasn't it the team partially getting together and saying, we are not going to play for this man. And they made him sell the team. They really did. So you know what? All options should be on the table.
Right.
I just think all options should be on the table.
Once again, it's the NFL. Jay-Z, what are you doing out here? What's going on? Yeah.
Jay-Z, what are you doing?
Jay-Z, what's happening? So
we want to hear you speak.
We do. I wasn't joking. I really do want to hear what his thoughts are, not thoughts and prayers, but what are your thoughts on this? Like, don't you own some of this NFL stuff? Like, say something, anything.
Right.
So, all right. Let's number 2. But actually, what's funny? So Honor and I, like top 5 news, we actually have 4 because one was so egregious that it took over 4 and 5. We're getting there. I probably should have went backwards. So Gruden should have probably been 5, and then we should be moving on to number 4 on our list, which is it's been in the news for a long time. Texas abortion ban, they go from, here's the ban, and then the DOJ steps in, like, of course they should, and file suit against Texas, which halted it temporarily. Everyone celebrated. We knew that was going to be short-lived because what happened?
You know what? My speaker keeps going out.
Oh no, you can't hear me?
I know, man.
You sure it's charged? Wait till we play this game, guys.
Hello?
I can hear you.
I have a speaker gremlin. I don't know what to tell you.
Speaker gremlin. Oh, can you hear now?
Let me see. Let me try both.
Oh, it could be going dead.
Nothing.
Take them out. Do you need them? You don't need them, right? I can hear you without them. Can you hear me? Can you hear me without the speakers? Oh, you can't. Well, Anna's gone. I'm just going to do it. She can't hear me. Well, maybe change your settings. Oh, you can't hear me.
I can hear you now because
I'm
changing my settings once again.
She's back. Let's get back. We getting some.
Let's get back into it.
The abortion, girl. It ain't going nowhere. Well, abortions probably are going somewhere, but the topic is not going anywhere. So again, like I was saying, they banned abortions, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks. They only give the woman to figure it out in 6 weeks. I don't know what you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
but figure it out in 6 weeks, whatever. We're not going to go back in that because we know why that's stupid. The
Right.
DOJ jumped in to help, filed lawsuit against Texas to stop
Mm-hmm.
it temporarily. Everyone celebrated, tried to make some appointments up in there.
Very short-lived.
Very short lived. That joint went right to the fifth district. And who is in the fifth district?
Trump appointed.
Yeah, yeah. Trump appointed. He was like low key getting it in while we're thinking like Trump ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He was, I mean, not him, but those people were giving him list of judges, like just check them off, just
Yep.
appoint them, like
Yep.
all undercover. No
Yep.
one even thought about it. Not that we could have stopped it, but like it just wasn't a thought.
Because we were too busy covering his tweet of the day.
Right. True.
We're going to have to do a segment on mainstream media. Not for
Right.
tonight. I'm not even going to diverge, but
No, it's
yeah,
true.
some of the things that should have been covered, we are figuring out now.
Right.
We just didn't get the reporting that we needed.
Right. There needs to be a reckoning. It's like a media reckoning. And you're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right. It was every single day. One tweet was more, but it's like we kept saying it, it was like he was like, look over here. Meanwhile, he was
Mm-hmm.
doing this dirty stuff
Mm-hmm.
underneath the table, but we were so focused on, oh my God, he said shithole country, or oh my God, he said, and
And we are
meanwhile,
now on the verge of Roe versus Wade being potentially overturned.
overturned,
So
overturned. Like, I don't even know if it's potential anymore. Like, it's just going to happen. Y'all better get out of Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina. Y'all better just leave those states. Like, what is the point of even raising a family there? It's awful. Like they are not for the women.
mm-hmm.
They're not
you
for the
know,
men either.
I have, and I guess this is just not a thing, but I wonder, like, can you refuse to have an ultrasound to listen for a viable heartbeat?
Hmm.
Like, because they can
Right.
do a blood test
Right.
to confirm your pregnancy, right? What do you say? I refuse to have that test done.
That
I just want this done.
that may be a part of insurance. You know how insurance is funny like that? Like you have to have certain things for them to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are they gonna pay for this treatment or whatever if we don't even know if you have a heartbeat? Like, why would we be doing that? Like, what? How do
This
we
is
know?
true.
Yeah,
This is true.
because insurance companies they're a part of the problem as well, but not
It
this
just seems
problem.
like
But
there should be some type of loophole,
right,
right?
right. Maybe if they think hard enough, they can find one. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, everyone's afraid because now you have the vigilantes out here running around trying to turn people in. So it's just a fear
That's a
factor.
mess.
Yeah, it is a
That's a
mess.
mess.
It is. It's
So,
gonna stay tuned. Stay
and
tuned.
also with the state of Texas,
Mm, is that a segue, girl? Is
I
that a
think that's a
segue?
segue.
Is that a segue? Because there was just a whole bunch of like, who does that news? Like Texas is just like, who does that? Like it's like almost we need like a segment called "Who Does That?"
Who
and
does
just
that?
right and just have Abbott and DeSantis just step on up because they do that. So wow, and who does that news? Abbott has banned COVID mandates by any employer, which means if you are a company owner, private company now,
Private companies
your
included.
private company
Mm-hmm.
included, he is saying you cannot mandate masks in
Mm-hmm.
your company where you pay taxes on your company, where you pay
Mm-hmm.
like the rent of your building. He's saying you cannot mandate because masks are intruding on people's rights.
Well, let's not forget that most companies, in some way, shape, or form, also subsidize the medical benefits that their employees get. And so it is in their best interest to make sure that their employees stay as healthy as possible. And then you have, which is not talked about, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
the long haul COVID. So you don't have any way of knowing if your employee is going to have a relatively mild case, or 6 or 9 months down the line, you're still going to be dealing with medical issues for this employee.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to pay that. So what will happen with that is that the employers will turn around and put that cost on us. Right. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense what they're doing. It doesn't make any sense with these anti-vaxxers. Like, y'all aren't really thinking this through. Just like on a basic, just simple basic, because what you said was like fire, like legit, that makes sense. But just on a simple elementary level,
right?
If you get sick from COVID and go into the office, and then you get all the other staff sick and they have to leave, no one's getting paid. His company is losing money. Like, it, what do y'all
There's
do?
no productivity.
Right.
There's no productivity in that, because if you're homesick with COVID, you're not working from home.
And then you're going to be mad at your employer for not wanting to pay for your sick time when all he wanted you to do was wear a mask in the first place. Like, can you imagine being home like, I don't got no more sick time, but COVID, it ain't my fault. Yeah, it is your fault. It is your fault, because you should have worn a mask. So, oh my, it's
well, several companies have already decided that they were going to defy that, most notably, I think, American Airlines and Southwest. Which, as far as the airlines are concerned, they have a huge obligation to protect their employees, and to protect the passengers.
Right.
Air travel is expected to hit big numbers for the holiday season. And so now is not the time to be relaxing mask mandates.
Now is not the time. Aren't they? They're federally regulated anyway, right?
But they are. They are in federal area. Yeah.
So their reason is, hey, Biden told us that we have to do this because we are under federal mandates. We have to do this. And then once OSHA does their thing and writes these laws for all the companies,
for the workplace,
exactly, for the workplace, Abbott's stuff is just going to be trash anyway. Like, OSHA trumps all. So this is
Abbott, DeSantis, all of those governors that have just not put the interest of their people over their politics.
Just trash. So was that 5-4, number 3? Who does that news? Adam West, can you step up to the mic, please? And not Adam West, Batman, but the other Adam West. Adam, if you don't know who Adam West is, he is the gubernatorial candidate for Texas. So he is trying to do Abbott's job, which means he's a Republican. He has to be worse than Abbott. Like, he has to be worse. Like, how are you going to do Abbott's job if you're not worse than Abbott? Like, you got to be worse than that. And he's a black man. Like, so yeah, Adam West is trash. But here's the thing. Adam West is in the hospital with COVID. Well, yeah, COVID. He does have COVID. Yeah, he has COVID. And he's also in the hospital taking, what's he taking? The antibodies. Oh, he's getting the infusion.
Well, see, here's the thing about that, though, because he took the ivermectin and the hydrochloroquine prior to hospitalization.
Right, exactly.
Which one do you think?
So he says, right? So he says.
Which one do you think is going to win out as the cure of his COVID?
Ivermectin.
It might be a combo of the two.
Trump did it. Trump cured him. It's Trump.
But his wife, I don't think his wife is in the hospital though, right? See, she was vaccinated.
Yeah, she was vaccinated. I thought that I heard that she was, but I could be wrong. I did try to look. Like, I did do my due diligence in searching, and I couldn't find that she was in the hospital. So let's just go with she's fine and she's at home, but her husband is trash. So he's in there talking about, what he said something crazy, like The vaccine is giving money to the pharmaceutical companies. So,
So
but
is the
right,
monoclonal antibodies?
exactly. You had
What
a
is
whole
Regeneron?
what,
What is or remdesivir? I'm sorry, Regeneron.
exactly
Remdesivir and all of those.
the hypocrisy, right? Because that's his thing. This is what he's saying. This is what he's running on. He's actually saying the vaccines, you do that, you're giving money to big pharma and this and that. And you've been in the hospital for legit over a week. So how much is that bill gonna be? And you're having
Exactly.
infusions. Like what are you talking about right now? Like again, these Trump supporters, like they're you don't want to lump them, but you just shake your head.
Mm,
You just
you do
shake your
kind of have to
head.
shake your head. You
Like,
do kind of have to shake your head.
oh,
Like, what are you doing?
like
What
is
are
this
you doing?
right? Is this like real ignorance, or do you know better, but you
Mm-hmm.
just want to be right? Like I struggle with
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure that out. Like, are you really this dense, or
I think a lot of supporters um, are genuinely confused. That's a nice way to put it.
right? I guess if you
I
are
don't
dosing on
believe
Fox.
any of these congressmen. I do not believe
Well,
any of these
no,
leaders, these
no,
CEOs. I do not
no.
believe Mike Lindell. I do not believe any of these people actually believe
Correct.
that
Correct.
the vaccines don't work, that it's a hoax, that Trump
Mhm.
is still president. I don't think they believe
Because they're
any of that
vaccinated. The politicians are vaccinated. Abbott was vaccinated and had his booster
and had
and
his
had his
booster.
booster and telling y'all no mask mandates. You had your
Well, and I know
booster.
this was a story way back when the vaccine first came out. There was a story that DeSantis had quite a few mobile vaccination sites in some of the wealthy areas of Florida, some of his donors and things like that. So not only is he vaccinated, he made sure his rich friends were vaccinated as well.
Right.
So.
Right. Wasn't it in Florida that he was yeah, you said vaccinations like they were when it first came out, you're right. They were taking the vaccines
Mm-hmm.
away from none of the poor low income
Mm-hmm.
areas with they
Mm-hmm.
weren't getting any vaccines because he was busy vaccinating his rich friends. You're
Mm-hmm.
absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right. And that is exactly what they do. Meanwhile, they're telling you not to get vaccinated. Their friends and family and everyone lined up first. It's pretty unbelievable how they have total disregard for life. I hope you guys
Yes.
remember that when it's time to vote. Like Florida is really getting tired of them. DeSantis's poll numbers are dropping, but that's a whole nother topic of discussion because of what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing to try to keep him in office.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so number four, three. I think we're on
I
third.
think we combined 4 and 5.
I'm so confused. Let's slide into Kyrie Irving for a minute.
Let's slide into Kyrie because Kyrie is making quite the name for himself on the left and the right, in the middle.
just a big old tool just being used, just a puppet. And
Mm-hmm.
what's interesting? He tried to walk it back, right? Because he is being used by the right now. So he's trying to do the
Mm-hmm.
moonwalk back, and he's like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
"Hold up, I am not an anti-vaxxer." That's what he's not. He's not an anti-vaxxer. He is
But you're
upset.
not vaccinated.
Hold on. He is upset that people are losing their jobs because of the mandate. Mhm.
But you don't have to lose your job because of the mandate. You can just get vaccinated.
Right. Or get another job. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not, you know, uh, and again, since when did Kyrie stand up for the average and common man? That's number one. Like, where is this coming
Correct.
from? What you're doing is you're going to have people lose their jobs because you're on the wrong side. So if you're saying you shouldn't have to get vaccinated and there are
Mm-hmm.
companies that require it, and you're telling on your platform, stand your ground, they're gonna lose their livelihood. Like, what are you doing right now? Well, what is happening, Kyrie? Like, I don't know. He's been
How
that
much does
Kool-Aid.
Kyrie make a year? He has to, it's at least $1 million. I have no
No, it's
idea
way
what his
more than
salary is.
that.
I
I
know
mean,
it's way more than that. But here's the thing, he'll sit out a few games and he'll get vaccinated, but he
right.
can afford
To sit
to
out a few
sit out a
games.
few
Right.
games because his
Right.
few games is probably people's salary for a couple of years.
Way more.
Not
Right.
just one, a couple of
Yeah,
years.
they said he could stand to lose $200 million is what he stands to lose,
$200 million.
but he's still getting paid. He's still going to get paid for the games that he could play. So if there's a
Mm-hmm,
place that they go to where there's no mandate, he
mm-hmm,
gets paid for that game, although they're not letting him because he's suspended. But he can
mm-hmm.
actually show up to play, so he has to get paid. He's only not playing because they won't let him play.
Right,
He's only losing money in the games where it's mandated and he can't go
right,
in. So he's
right.
still making money in essence. And like you said, he's going to get vaccinated. Like at the end of the day, he's going to get vaccinated. Like
Absolutely.
it's just so
Absolutely. It doesn't make any sense for him not to. I understand our history, Black
right.
people's history and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think if you look at the vaccine on a global basis, because the US was not the first country to start vaccinating
Right.
people. Um, they've been, from what I understand or feel, very transparent with side
Right.
effects, potential findings that have come out. And those things are going to be discovered in other countries first, simply
Right.
because they are further along.
Right.
So
Right.
get the shot, people. You're not the first.
You're
You're
not the
not going to be the
first.
first.
You're not the
There have been
first. You're
billions
not
and
gonna be
billions
the
administered.
last.
Yeah, you're not going to
Like
be the last. Get the shot, people.
it's like, maybe while he's home, no home games, he'll do some research. Like, dude, it's been a year and a half. Like, what more research do we need? Like millions and millions and millions of people. 7 million people have gotten their booster. So that means 7 million people have gotten like 3 shots already. We're not
Right.
growing extra limbs. I don't know. I think I'm glowed up. So
Girl, that is just the knowing that you're protected.
exactly. You got glowed up after that. Like, ooh, you do feel a little better about going in
Mm-hmm,
places. You're still a little
mm-hmm,
nervous. We still wear our masks, but
mm-hmm.
we feel a little safer. You just do. It's not as scary out there, right? Before we didn't go out the house at all.
Right. Well, because
Now,
there before, without a vaccine, there was no way to avoid hospitalization. Now, even if we catch a breakthrough case, in most cases, there is no hospitalization required.
right. Thank God, because
That's what I'm striving for.
girl, thank God, because there's no beds. So even if we go, there's no beds. It's like,
Conversation for another day.
exactly. All right, let's move on to our last story so we can get this game because I know that is why everyone is here for this game. Oh boy, Michigan. Michigan is back in the news. Michigan water crisis. Again, no, not Flint. Is it Bar Harbor? Bar
It's Bar
Harbor.
Harbor, I believe.
Bar
Yeah.
Harbor. I don't know what's going on with Michigan's water, but Bar Harbor has been found to have tons of lead in their water. Like how
Even
long?
more than Flint, they said. At higher
That
levels than Flint.
that is
And they've
insane.
now ordered their people not to drink, not to bathe. But that is just an absolutely horrible quality of life. Horrible
Horrible.
quality of life.
And that's been years. Like this is not even a new problem. Like it's found now, but these people have been drinking that poisonous water for
Yeah.
years. It, it makes me sad. It's like they look at Black people and they stereotype us with all these different types of diseases.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Black people have higher rates of asthma, Black people have hypertension, Black
Mm-hmm.
people can't grow their hair, just all of these things.
Any
No,
number of things.
right, just craziness, right? But our environment is literally killing us and has been killing us for years. and you go to the doctor and the doctors never ask you, and it's got to start being a question on the book, like,
it really
where do you
does.
live? Do you live in an apartment building? How is the air quality where you live? Do you live near roadways? Because guess what? If you live near roadways and you have cars back and forth,
The exhaust.
the exhaust, so your kids are more apt to have asthma, right? You're more apt to have lung conditions. Drinking lead in your water causes all kinds of cancer, kidney diseases, lung diseases, and literally, I'm not joking, causes your hair to fall out. Like, it just does.
Well, and then the biggest thing, or one of the biggest issues, is lead poisoning in children,
Lead poisoning
causing
in
developmental
children.
delays that never really go away. And what is sad is you do your best as a parent to provide for your child. You cannot replace lead pipes
Right.
in your
Right.
city. Like, that is up to the people that you elect into office to make sure that infrastructure
Did you hear that?
infrastructure is what it's supposed to be. And I would just think that getting the leaded pipes out of your city, lead became a thing in the 1970s. We are now in 2021. And to hear stories like that, again, like you said, just proves that environmental racism, which is not a new term, but we're beginning to be more and more aware of it, is really something that we're battling with.
Right. And this is how we know it's racist. Check this out. So I used to do asbestos litigation, right? Because they had, these men working on these in the shipyards, the men who fix like old burners, heaters, water heaters, they all had asbestos in it. Those people are filing suit like crazy because they got mesothelioma and all these other types of cancers from it. Majority white people. So they had access. There's an act, right? If you watch TV, you hear attorneys talking about, if you have mesothelioma, if you've ever worked in a shipyard, if whatever, you could have asbestosis, right? Long haul. But for low income people and Black and brown people, there's no resolve. There's no payment. There's no reparations for that. And just like you said, developmental delays, no one's even thinking that, right? No one's thinking that's from the pipe. So your kid is in school. They are delayed. First thing they want to do is put your kid on some kind of medication or something like that. And again,
or in special education,
or in special ed. It's the system is so stacked against us. Like, we can't even begin to explain to anyone. It's just it's like one thing on top of the other. We go from the lead paint to developmental to school to special ed to medication. Like, it just, how do you get out of this? It's insane.
Right.
It's insane. And that is the systemic part of it that racists try to act like does not exist. It's like, there's no systemic racism. What are you talking about?
Deeply, deeply ingrained. And like you said, layer upon layer upon layer.
Awful. It's just, it's awful. I hate that we even have to talk about that. And I hope those people, I don't know, start filing lawsuits, man, like for real. And maybe attorneys need to start doing ads, not just for asbestosis and mesothelioma, but the diseases that you get for lead, because the people of Flint, these people need to be suing, and they're probably not even thinking about it because, when you're that poor, you're not thinking about that. You think like every lawyer you have to pay for. No, we're going to need some people to do some pro bono work and get these people, what they deserve. That Michigan's been poisoning their residents, and
for decades,
girl, decades. So that was our top 5.
There's only water, people.
Sure, honor. It is a little hot in these lights. So we're gonna move on to our game portion. Quest, quotes, and questions. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Is everyone ready? Are you ready, Honor? Because
I'm ready.
we're gonna get here with this. Everyone in the chat, you guys ready? Oh, let's pay some homage to the chat here. Casey, thank you, Casey. Hey,
Hey, Case.
Brent showed up. Hi, Mary. DA was here. Infinite as always. Michelle. Thank you guys. Thank you for
Thanks,
coming out.
guys.
Yes, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for supporting.
Casey, hit that like button. This is your first time. This is the first one. Hit that like button. All right, let's play the game. All right, quotes, and questions. First quote: insurrectionists in suits and ties are the most dangerous.
Ooh.
Insurrectionists in suits and ties are the most dangerous. Who said it?
Man or woman?
Man. Politician. Congress.
Bernie Thompson.
No.
I'm guessing.
Okay, I know. I'm gonna give more hints. I know, like it's so.
That's okay.
I know. He has a book out right now.
Oh.
Insurrectionists in suit and ties are the most dangerous.
Is it Eric Swalwell?
Very close. He's older than Eric.
I'm stumped.
Okay. I will give a hint. His first name goes with Eve. Did someone say Malcolm X? Nicki Minaj? Jamie Raskin is very close. His first name goes with Eve.
Steve?
Bishop Don Juan. No, goes with Eve. What name goes with
Oh,
Eve?
Adam Kinsinger?
No. Close. Come on, let's go.
Adam Schiff.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The Adam Schiff.
The Adam Schiff. All right. Next, this is a question. What percentage of Trump voters are worried about discrimination against white people? I'll give you 75%, 95%, or 84%. Let's give the chat a minute. You know what's hilarious? I circled all of these.
Because it's probably true.
Right. What percentage of Trump voters are worried about discrimination against the white people? 84%, 95%, 75%. Yes, 84%. 84% of Trump voters are worried about. That's kind of, I mean, it makes sense. I would think 100%. So that's kind of striking that it's only 84 of Trump voters.
Okay, so
it says Trump voters.
What, the other 26, no, 16, what, 16%? Are they now normal people?
Girl. Next question.
We gotta hope. We had to hope some of them will come over to the light.
Right. Exactly. We do
point.
hope. We do hope so. I don't know if I have high hopes. Okay, another question. What company asked the FDA to authorize the COVID pill? We're gonna give the chat a little.
Oh, I do know this one.
Yeah, we'll see if the chat knows. What company asked the FDA to authorize the COVID pill? They're behind. They're talking about white fragility. Look at Case in that chat. Go, Case. Not Moderna. Merck. Good.
Yep.
Yes, Merck.
Good one.
All right, Infinite. Let's see.
Infinite was on it last week too.
Yeah, he's always on fire. He'll be on fire tomorrow.
Right.
So let's go. Quote: Kyrie just sacrificed more than Kaepernick ever did. Who said that quote? Kyrie Irving just sacrificed more than Kaepernick ever did.
Tuckums.
Nope. Close. Ooh. That sounds like a Tuckums. It really does.
It does.
It really, really does. Anybody? Oh, they're still on. They're talking about Pfizer and Merck. Wow, it is a delay. They're still coming up with the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock, Infinite. I don't even know who Jason Whitlock is, but he
Thought
did
it
not
was a
say it.
basketball player. Oh no. Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
Ted Cruz, that is close. Okay, I'm gonna give some hints. Kyrie just sacrificed more than Kaepernick ever did. His father is a loser.
Oh, I know who said it. I know who said it.
Kyrie just sacrificed more than Kaepernick ever did. Yes, Donald Jr. Infinite got it. All right,
Mhm.
one more, guys, one more. Just trying to see which one. Oh. All right. We've been beaten down for so many years. It sucks your soul. You can't accept it anymore. That's the tipping point. We've been beaten down for so many years. It sucks your soul. You can't accept it anymore. We're at a tipping point. Sorry.
I heard this quote, but I don't remember who said it.
It's an athlete. That's the hint.
I know who said it, I think.
Wile E. Coyote. Oh my glasses are. Did I read that right? Wile E. Coyote. What? I'll read it again. We've been beaten down for so many years, it sucks your soul. You can't accept it anymore. We're at a tipping point. Oh, wow. Y'all are really Chastity Clybourne? Trump Jr.?
Oh,
I think they're still on the last question. Any Black, brown, or indigenous person in America? Yeah, Infinite's internet is really fast. It is an
yes, it
athlete,
is.
a former athlete, a former basketball player.
Oh, I don't know who it is then. It's a former
Yeah.
basketball player.
Yes, a former basketball player. He played for Chicago.
Michael Jordan.
Yes. Absolutely. Michael Jordan. Thank you guys for playing. We're leaving. No, I'm just kidding. So we are going to move into the story of interest. It is a big story this week. Actually, it started to wind down a little. It seemed like it was a big story earlier in the week. It seems like it's less of a big story now. But since we're just on
It's a
now,
good story. Yeah.
it is a
Let's
good
go.
it is a good
Let's talk
story.
about it.
Don't be sensitive out there. We just two gals here telling our opinions.
Exactly.
Just an opinion. So Jacqueline Moore, who worked on Dear White People as a showrunner, I guess that's also known as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Or she was a showrunner and a producer. I don't know. She has decided to boycott Netflix because of Chappelle's alleged transphobia in his special. Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
I watched it too. I thought it was good.
I'm I
So
I literally laughed out loud at quite a few sections. Um,
yeah. So
I thought it was good.
well, first in her interview, she called him a goofy comic. Goofy. So,
Um,
and I
I
get,
found the special to be very insightful and thought-provoking. That's kind of the opposite of goofy, don't you think?
I've never thought him as a goofy comic anyway. That's the other guys. Like Chappelle's not a goofy comic. Chappelle tells
No.
stories. And I think to me, when I watched it, and I did sit down with a pen because I forget everything, he weaves the story and you have to, it's almost like you're watching the story. So you have to watch from the beginning to the
Mm-hmm.
end. You can't take
Mm-hmm.
anything out of the middle because you're going to miss so many things, right? And you have to really pay
Mm-hmm.
attention because he's almost giving you the hints and the message is. He's telling you what the message is in it. And it's interesting because the members of the LGBTQI, not all of them, are upset because they're saying that he's ridiculing trans women, that ridiculing, not even offending, ridiculing, right? Because I've
Right.
heard some
Right.
say, no, we're not offended. He's just ridiculing us. And then I hear some say, he's the cause of, someone committing suicide. And it's just like,
Well, actually, now that part, um, that person he mentioned, I think Daphne, she
well, they were
was a
saying that
tra-
right. They were
Go
saying
ahead.
that no, someone else. So another
Oh,
right. They were
really?
right. They were blaming him for someone else. I thought that they were blaming him for someone else's death, not
Mm-hmm.
Daphne's death, because of course,
Oh, okay.
right, right.
But they
It,
don't, but you considering Daphne's death, no one's talking about that.
no one's
And
talking
that's a
about
problem.
Daphne. Then
No
no
one's
one's
talking about
right.
Daphne.
There's a few things that they leave out. Right. Go ahead.
And also, no one's talking about his original, well, I shouldn't say original, but his premise that he kind of entered into that segment, which was can gay people be
Right.
racist?
Right. Can
And no
them
one has
right.
bothered to kind of address that part of it. Um, it's just so easy to kind of jump on the outrage, so outraged, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
over.
Right.
I don't. For me, like you
Right.
said, please come back and watch us next week. For
Right.
me, for me, I found the show to be funny. Uh, I, some of the terminology that he has used in reference to trans people and others have found offensive. I will also note that pretty much throughout the whole show, he used the N word pretty fluently.
Right.
I haven't heard any
and
outrage
and the
about
B
that.
word.
I, I haven't heard any outrage about that
He
either.
talks about crackheads. He talks about like just he ridicules everybody because
Everyone
he's
is fair game. Do you
he's
remember Antoine Biggums from the Chappelle Show?
right, right. He's a crackhead.
Everyone laughed at that. That was
What?
okay.
Right, right,
Us included. You know why? It was funny.
right, and right, and like okay, so along the way he was actually warning us. He was like, I come in peace. That's how he started. He's like, I come in peace. And he went on this journey in the very beginning after he
Mm-hmm.
asked that question, can members of the LGBTQI community be racist? He was
Mm-hmm.
saying, what the baby said. He was like shocked about the baby. He's like, he had to call the baby and be like, yo, what you said, you're worse than I am. But he
Right,
was,
right.
what the interesting thing is, they called to have the baby canceled. And he was saying the baby shot somebody, right? He literally shot a person, killed a person. He
And
wasn't
they
can
had no beef about that
he's not can
whatsoever.
he's not canceled for that. He's canceled for the comments. And not, let me backtrack. We're not saying that the baby's comments, we're not co-signing that. We're just saying
Absolutely not. His comments were extremely offensive and
exactly,
inappropriate.
very, very. But the
But show us
point
shooting someone. Just getting that in there.
no, but it's absolutely true. It's so true. And again, he did tell the story of his friend Daphne, and it was funny to me because he did the thing that white people do to us when they're like, I'm not racist. I have, you know, black friends or whatever. Like he rewound that on you guys because he's like, listen, I have a friend Daphne that I let open up for me, and she was trans. And it's interesting because if you watch the show, you saw his pain as he talked about Daphne,
You really did.
as he talked about her suicide, as he talked about, her daughter and setting up a trust fund. And her
Mm-hmm.
family actually made a statement, not that, outside of his show, to say they
Mm-hmm.
support him. Like that's not how he is. Like, what's
Mm-hmm.
interesting? He said something which is very true. He was talking about like the community back in the day, how,
Mhm.
you know, they were marginalized, but they connected with other marginalized groups like Black people and Black men.
Right.
Now it's like the connection's not really there. And I don't know about you, but I remember early on with the LGBTQI movement.
Mhm.
Again, I'm not saying it shouldn't be a movement. I'm just saying during the movement, our Black
Mhm.
men were saying, sisters, y'all getting really, y'all supporting them more than you're even supporting us. Watch what's going to
Right.
happen. Watch what's
Right.
going to happen because, you know, there's Black members of the LGBTQI community that the white members don't support, that they complain because they're not being treated the same.
Absolutely. But that has been a divergence in the feminist movement
Right, right,
as well as the
right,
LGBTQI movement, as
right,
far as blacks and feminists,
right,
blacks and LGBTQ,
right. Oh my
and then
gosh.
whites. So it's
Right.
almost like this was the basis for Dave's question to begin with. Is
Absolutely.
there? Mhm.
No,
Overall,
absolutely.
I found the show to be funny, insightful. Oh, I also wanted to piggyback off of what you said. You could also sometimes uh, see the pain when he was talking about his journey with the trans community
Right,
and how he seemed to think that he was getting somewhere,
right.
and his show comes out and they're just kind of knocking him right back down. And it's not for me to say that they should not voice their opinion,
Right. And they
but
should,
I
but
did I noticed that yeah, it's
yeah,
been a struggle. It's
right. It
one
was
he's
a
thought
struggle.
about.
Right. And
It's one he's thought about.
right, because it came from years ago, and I know we got to wrap up soon. It came from
Mm-hmm.
years ago when he did make some awful comments and he had to
Mm-hmm.
apologize and walk it back. And he always felt like he was never forgiven for that. So even just out in public, they're attacking him or trying to set him up with
Oh, he
something.
did
So
say with the 90s talking points or whatever it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So we could talk on and on about that. We know that y'all got somewhere to go, but we are going to close with some Black excellence. Black excellence. Black excellence.
Because
So
Black history is American history.
because it is, and this is, I guess this is history in the making. I just wanted to make note of this. I tossed around a bunch of history and I just kept going back to Michael Jordan, and I kept going back to Michael Jordan because I think that he doesn't get the credit that he rightfully deserves at this point. And it's because Bubba won that race. Michael Jordan bought exactly. Michael Jordan bought that race car team. He's on NASCAR. So that means that he is bringing the Black community into a whole nother
Yes.
sport, a whole nother dynamic. It's like, you watching Bubba, you saw Black kids out in the audience. So he's trailblazing, like he's actually setting a path. And I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves because one, people thought he was given to private prisons, which he is not giving money or receiving money
Right.
for private prisons. He is not
Right.
invested in that. He never has been. It's been another Michael Jordan. One of the critiques was that he didn't speak enough about what's going on in the Black community. He is doing that now with his words. He is doing that now with his money. He has pledged $100 million to Black social justice organizations. That is his money, his own money out of his pockets. That is what he is doing.
And let's
2017.
not forget, wait.
No,
During
go ahead.
the election,
He
he sent
paid.
money, was it to Florida, for the felons to be able to
Exactly.
pay their fees? So that
Exactly.
I'm sorry, the ex felons to be able to pay their fees so that they
Exactly.
could vote.
He
Yes.
sure did. So I
Money
wanted
where your
to
mouth is.
salute him. Wanted to salute that brother because
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's getting enough credit right now. And kudos to him. Thank you, Honor. Our first show,
Thank you for
guys. We
having
did it.
me.
We did it. We
We
did it.
did
We
it.
did it. We did. Thank you, everyone. Casey, thank you. Thank you for showing up, guys.
Thank you for
Tomorrow,
everyone in the chat.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yeah, yes. Thank you for everyone in the chat. I just wanted to get in there. Tomorrow, everyone, What's Up People News, 8 p.m.
Eastern
We have
time?
yes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do have a guest, Amaro Lionheart, gubernatorial candidate for Florida, as we talked about Florida today. So tune in
Yes.
there, channel 323. Good night. Thank you, Anna. Thank
Good
you,
night. Thank
Jack.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.